All right, guys, you already know we in the building. Real Relay Podcast in the building. You already know.
Back again, 2 in 1 week.
Back again for another episode of the Real Relay Podcast. We got a super special guest in the building.
Real Relay fam, we got Drew Dunn with us today. Drew, we always like to kick off the pod with very generic question.
Cool.
And you can take it however you want. But Drew Dunn, who are you today?
I'm a stand-up comic from New Hampshire, living in New York right now, today. Back in New Hampshire. Telling jokes, going on the road, trying to make animations, doing voiceover shit, just trying to make shit happen.
Damn.
Dude, I was watching some of those COVID animations on your
yeah.
Instagram. That
Yeah.
shit was mad funny.
I was going to say, that whole idea just came from the idea that, like, every time a new variant comes out, what happens to the old one? Like, does it just disappear? Like, where does it go kind of thing? So it was around Christmas time, so I was like, oh, the Island of Misfit Variants, Island of Misfit Toys, just fucking around with that. Like, oh, no one wants to play with old Delta no more. just stupid.
Did you do all the voiceovers?
Yeah, I did all the voices, yeah.
Wow,
yeah.
that's so cool.
It's like that meme where it's like, I don't want to play with you anymore.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
It's the Toy Story
yeah,
meme?
the Toy Story meme, yeah.
Oh, man. So you're a comedian.
I'm a comedian first.
From New Hampshire, you're a comedian first. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, who are like your top 5 comedians right now?
Right now, I mean, I love Louis C.K. Always love Louis
Goated.
C.K. Jim Gaffigan, big fan of Jim Gaffigan. I've always loved Chris Rock. Trying to think. Those are the big 3 for me. Brian Regan. I don't know if you know Brian. Then, of course, Bill Burr. Who doesn't love Bill Burr? That guy's like the best shit talker ever.
What do you feel about Dave Chappelle?
I've loved Dave Chappelle. I mean, I love him more. I mean, I always loved him more as a comedic actor than I liked him as a stand-up. I love his stand-up, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Obviously, the last special for me, like, I don't care about what he talks about. For me, as a comedian, you can talk about whatever you want. That's just not what I personally, selfishly, wanted to hear Dave Chappelle talk about for 35 minutes in what might be his last special. I was like, damn, I want to hear about Dave being a fucking millionaire. And those secret shows he did during the pandemic. Like, I want to hear about real life shit with him rather than him, like, defending himself. I don't know.
Yeah, it felt like more like he was just like ranting. You know what I mean? And just him just kind of going off. You know
Which he's earned the right to do in his career. Don't get me wrong. So, but it's just not what I wanted out of like my last special for a long time, in quotes, or ever. So I'm like, I don't know. That's just me selfishly choosing what I want to hear from Dave Chappelle. It's his art. He can do whatever the fuck he wants.
That is true. He's a fucking goat, though. He's the fucking guy.
Yeah. As far as when it comes to just classic stand-up, being able to go up there and captivate an audience just by speaking, there's probably nobody better than him. Just immediate attention. You could listen to that guy for 3 hours. You wouldn't even realize it. You know what I mean? He's just captivating dude.
You can always tell when he's ready to say something crazy. He always like kind of looks down a little bit and like he's just like smirks a little bit. He's like he knows what he's about to say next, about to shake the room.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's done shows for like Drake and shit like that as well too. Like LeBron. It's fucking hilarious, bro. I was gonna say I've seen you moved. So I want to learn a little bit about the background story about you. You know what I mean? That's the thing about Real Relay. We want to put people on.
Word.
And put people on specifically to you and like, bro, so you give us a little bit of story from the New Hampshire, becoming a comedian, and like moving to New York. How did that give us unpack this little box?
Yeah, so I mean, as far as like starting stand-up, I started when I was 21. I was in my senior year of college. It was always something I thought about, but it wasn't really in the game plan. My plan was to be a professional baseball player. That was like the game plan my whole life. That's what I played baseball for my entire childhood. Like, I bullpen caught for like a AA team while I was still in high school. So like that gave me like, I think I can do this. I had scouts looking at me. Went to college, did okay. Ended up getting hurt my senior year. And I kind of had that choice of like, do I redshirt, meaning like keep a year of eligibility with NCAA, and then have to like pay $20,000 to start a graduate program that I already knew I wasn't going to use my bachelor's degree halfway through it. You know what I mean? Like I was in marketing classes going like, wow, this is going to be crazy for whoever has to actually use this shit. It's not going to be me. Yeah, you guys have fun with analyzing the market. It ain't going to be me. So I ended up getting hurt, and I kind of had to have that decision where I'm like, man, I got to make a change in my life. So I had to go to my coach's office, say like, I quit. I can't do it anymore. Like I'm done. And he was, very respectful of it. He understood where I was at, like physically. So, so then it was like, I'd always had that in my life. I never wanted to like do a normal job. That just wasn't going to be me. It wasn't in my brain capacity. I needed that like thing bigger than myself to look for and work towards. So, I started thinking about stand-up. I would always be funny, just go hang out with my buddies, just doing voices and fucking
Were you
around.
like the class clown growing up?
Not really. I was more like the introverted class clown. Like, I'd be having my group of friends and some shit would happen, and I'd like be the guy that'd be leaning and be like, man, this kind of crazy what just happened. Like, yeah, like just shit like that. Like I'd be getting like all of a sudden
one-off comments where everybody fucking cracks up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Rather than like being the guy who needed the attention in the room, that really wasn't me.
That was me.
Yeah,
that was me.
Yeah. But part of that I think was I was the new kid so much in school growing up. Like I was born in Boston, right in JP, and then lived in New Hampshire a little bit. Then actually lived in Seattle for like kindergarten through 6th grade in Washington State. And then moved back here to New Hampshire in 7th grade, and I've been there ever since. And then now I'm living in Queens. But basically to start stand-up was like, I saw one of my buddies, this kid Josh that I went to high school with. He was a funny kid, but he wasn't like, I don't know. I never saw him as like a performer in that way. He was just kind of like me, just kind of that sly, silly kid. And he started doing stand-up when he was going to BU. So I was like, well, let's go check this out. Like, if Josh can try it, I can at least try it. And then once you go to your first open mic and see people just bomb their ass off at stand-up, you know what I mean? You're like, oh, that's all that happens. And, like, this dude tried it. Like, I actually think I'm funny. Why wouldn't I try? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
that's true. Yeah, everyone got little drinks in them. You know, they're chilling. They're there to laugh. You know
yeah, exactly. But open mics are different than, like, normal shows. You know what I mean?
Explain to us the difference, because I be looking at your Instagram and you deal with a lot of hecklers.
Yeah.
So can you explain the difference and how you dealing with these hecklers?
Yeah, so I mean, when you first start, when you're doing open mics and stuff, you're doing it mostly to the other stand-up comics that are trying to do the show. Very, very few people are looking like, oh, let's go watch some of the worst stand-up that's ever been said ever, and like that's their night out. You know what I mean? You know, very few people do that. Most people want to spend their money and their time going to see somebody they like or they know or whatever. Yeah. So that's what you start doing, and then eventually you start doing shows and you kind of build that up. But my first show was an open mic in Cambridge. I went on at like 3 a.m. Like literally it must have been like 2:30 or something like that. Whenever, like right before last call, like they shut the lights off in the middle of the next guy's set, because I didn't know how it worked, because you go up and you sign up your name for an open mic, and I was the 28th comic on the list. So it's because I didn't know you had to like do it early. So I was just fucked. Like I was just there for like 4 hours watching a show, and then just did a set for like one drunk guy left, the host, and then like my dad and my brother and his girlfriend that had been like dragged out, and like a couple of my buddies that were just. But as far as like hecklers and stuff, dude, I don't know. I get heckled a lot, man. Especially now that I'm like headlining shows on the road.
Shows you're getting heckled.
These are real shows. Yeah, I don't really do too many mics anymore. That's something I kind of did when I was first starting. Here and there, I'll do it if I have like some really raw idea. I want to have a safe space to like work out in front of a crowd. Yeah. But if not, I'm just working stuff out on shows. So like
sorry to cut you off.
No.
What's a raw idea for you? Like something that's like dark humor or like
like dark humor or like edgier, like right now, like one that I've done recently that I'm slowly starting to break into my new shows. It's the idea that like some people in my generation never want to have kids; they just want to have dogs. You know what I mean? They only want to have dogs the rest of their life. Yeah. My brother's like that. My brother's married, has a fucking nice house, great paying job. Says he's never gonna have kids, just wants to have a bunch of dogs. You know, but like for me, that's just like way too many dogs. Yeah. Like that old saying, like a father should never have to bury his child. That's like all my brother's gonna do the rest of his life. You know what I mean? Like, see what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a fucked up thing. I can't just do that.
Every 10 years, you're gonna bury another child.
Yeah, but my brother doesn't even buy like new dogs. You know what I mean? He gets like hospice dogs on their way out. So I get like a text every other month of some dog's new ailment or death, and I'm like, I don't, like, that's great what he does. Don't get me wrong, but I don't want to fucking hear about it. You know what I mean?
Like, hey Drew, can you come to the funeral?
Yeah, dude. It's not something.
Dude, this is the 6th dog that's died in the past like 3 weeks.
It's not something I want to be numb to. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to be numb to that. I want to feel that when a dog dies. I don't want to be like, and also you don't want to like ruin your day off with that text. You know, like picture you have your day off, you can do nothing. You go get your best breakfast, right? Nice cup of coffee or something. Sit down, gonna play some games or watch a show or something. And you get a text like, oh, it's my brother. Hey. It's Lucy.
Lucy, of course she's called Lucy.
She has doggy dementia. It's like you fucking bought her with doggy dementia, dude. That's not my problem.
Oh my God.
So stuff like that, you know, that I'm trying to like air out.
I love dark, like fucked up humor.
Yeah.
And like, and I get called out for it a lot. And like, bro, I just feel like this fucking generation is so fucking soft.
Yeah.
And it's like so like, oh, that's why Dave Chappelle did what he did.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, they're so fucking soft and like. Bro, you guys would not survive a Modern Warfare 2 Call of Duty like lobby.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Xbox 360 lobby.
People would lose their minds, dude. Yeah, that's where I cut my teeth. You want to know how I learned how to deal with hecklers, dude? Call of Duty 4 lobbies, talking shit, pretending to be a British guy, you know, and just fucking around, just ripping kids apart.
Those YouTube videos were fucking bananas, bro. People like, yo, I'm gonna go fuck with these kids with a Peter Griffin like voice and like go into a lobby, and you guys are getting absolutely fucked, dude. It's so.
That's what I would do. I actually did a gaming channel for a few years. I had like a few videos go pretty viral for PUBG, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds.
Oh no, we're gamers.
Oh, okay, word, yeah.
yeah, no.
Yeah, so I played PUBG for like those first few years it came out.
Just went free actually too.
Yeah, so I actually picked it up and started playing it again. But I made like a how to say it right video. I don't know if you guys ever saw it, but it got like a bunch of million views online where it was like...
You got 1 million views?
It got like 40 million views on Instagram from people that like stole it from me and didn't credit me. And then on my YouTube channel, it has like a little over 1 million, something like that.
Damn.
But it was the Miramar map, right? The desert map, the one in Mexico. So I would pronounce it correctly in like a Spanish accent and then just butcher the pronunciation of each place in like a Southern accent. You know, it's like that was the whole premise of the video, was just doing that. I didn't even play the game.
I gotta watch this shit.
Yeah. So that was like gave me a jump off point. So I started streaming a little bit, like making gaming content and stuff. And then I got a little momentum on that. Like when I'd stream, I'd get, like 20 to 50 people, depending on the day kind of thing. And then stand-up really started picking up for me. Like I won the Boston Comedy Festival, and then I got
Congratulations.
invited. Thank you.
Congratulations.
And then I did the Seattle International Comedy Competition, which is a month long. So like the one round is a week. So I was gone for a month, couldn't stream, couldn't do anything. Trying to keep up with people on Twitter and stuff, you don't reach everybody. So then I came back with like no momentum, and I felt like I was starting over, and I was like, man, comedy's going really good. I feel like I'm burning the candle at both ends right now. So I kind of put a pause or a stop on the gaming stuff and just started focusing on the stand-up, just putting out heckler videos and whatever other joke videos I could think of, and making animations, starting podcasts, things like that.
That's crazy.
Yo, do you remember Onage Pranks? On
Pranks. That sounds so familiar.
Onage Pranks is the guy who does all the different voices. I think I showed you him.
He like prank calls a Chinese restaurant.
He's got like a black guy voice.
Oh yeah.
Like a somebody. Like a somebody.
Oh, like a somebody. Yeah, dude. Those are
classic YouTube videos.
Modern Warfare 3, like 2011.
Remember Reckless Tortuga and like Rocket Jump, and like there was the Angry Gamer. I don't know if you guys remember him. He was fucking hilarious. He worked it was like a YouTube series, and it was like a gamer. And he had worked at like a GameStop though, and he oh my god, it was like during like the Modern Warfare 2 era, bro. And he just would shit on people when they would come into GameStop.
Dude, the internet was the Wild West back then, dude. Like it was insane. Those were like the two things you could find.
Pre-2010.
Yeah, that was like the two things you could find on YouTube was like people doing like preaching religious weird videos, like dating videos, or Modern Warfare 2 talking shit, or like Counter-Strike. You know what I mean? Like that was it. Now you can find anything. You can get a fucking master's degree in whatever you want.
Now
YouTube,
now you can watch ASMR videos on what an NFT is.
Yeah, exactly. right.
Or you can hop into the metaverse and an Oculus Rift.
Non-fungible token. It's fucking weird shit, dude.
The money.
Yeah, exactly, dude.
That's how it is. But now, if you want to be weird on the internet, the Wild Wild West is really in the metaverse, low key. If you get an Oculus, and you go hop in the VR chat or some rec room or some shit like that, that's where like the fucked up shit.
That shit's crazy. Yeah. You get a lot of hot mics in those lobbies, dude.
No, because it's all proximity chat.
Yeah, right.
So it's just people like it's like back in Call of Duty when you would kill someone, then they would die, and you could heal them for like 3 seconds.
Chat,
that's what it is. And like, bro, it's a fucking mess.
Yeah, that's great. That's what PUBG was like in the early days too. The lobbies, the pregame lobbies, where you could talk to everybody that's just running around. Dude, I used to just do a bunch of different characters, fucking around with that. It's so fun,
bro. Those are the good old days, man. Definitely.
Yeah, but I agree though, man. People get soft and they got to make rules, and you can't say this, you can't do that. So we stopped the voice comms for this, and now it's like Call of Duty's the only one that really still doesn't give a fuck and lets you talk shit after you die. Like. But yeah, man, I don't know. Like, I don't even know if it's a generational thing as much as it's like a cultural thing, because I think there's people in every generation that are able to take a joke and able to not only take a joke, but take a joke towards themselves. That's a really important thing, is to be able to laugh at yourselves. I think there's a ton of people right now that never learn that skill to laugh at themselves. So anytime somebody comes at them with a joke, it seems so personal and attacking because they've never learned to be like, oh yeah, dude, my fucking haircut is stupid. You know what I mean? like they didn't have any sort of that like ammo, Yeah, it's a weird thing.
Bro, like if you don't shit on your boys, like y'all ain't boys.
100%.
Like, if you don't like, that's what guys do. Like we just like, and girls too. I mean, girls are different though. They fucking tear each other apart. Completely different. Guys just like joke around, shoot the shit. You know what I mean? Like it's not a big deal. But how was the move from like New Hampshire like is fucking complete different than being in Queens and New York.
Totally, yeah.
Well, it's like how was that jump? You know, how was that jump?
Yeah, I mean, it was a long time coming, honestly. Like, I won the Boston Festival in like 2017. That's when I first started thinking about moving to New York. That was like, okay, I did this thing in Boston. I don't know what else I'm gonna do here, kind of thing. You know, I'm headlining a lot of these different rooms. I'm featuring at a lot of the bigger clubs. I'm like, I think now might be the time to jump ship. But then the timing didn't really work out. I couldn't find like the right place to live out there without like, especially with like, I'm married, so like I can't like bring my wife and have like 4 fucking roommates, you know what I mean? Like I was trying to do it right, so we're just trying to like find my wife a job out there, and then I kept getting new things here, so I was like, all right, let's just chill here for a minute. And then Seattle happened, and then after Seattle I got the Just for Laughs audition, which is like the biggest comedy festival in the world, and I got that here, so I was like, man, if I would have moved to New York, I wouldn't have even been in position socially to like audition for this thing, let alone actually get it. So I was like, I was grateful that I didn't move when I did. So now my philosophy is like, if you're a comic, listen to this. Like, if you're thinking about moving to New York, you either got to do it quick, like within your first couple of years, get some good jokes on your belt and fucking get there and then grind up in New York, or do what I did, wait, try and be a bigger fish in a smaller pond for a minute, like get some credits, get really, really good, and then try and make the jump once you know people. Like I was going back and forth to New York a lot before I actually moved there. Really? Yeah, so like I would go there. There was a point where I got like some residency, and I was going there every Sunday for like 3 months. So like every Sunday I would go. This is still I had a day job, so I would go there Sunday, go do like 2 5-minute spots, get in my car, drive back, get home at like 2 3 in the morning, go to work at like 8 a.m. That was my Monday.
Grind, grind. Continue, my bad.
Yeah. But so like as far as like the transition, we were planning to move there because after JFL it was like I had a lot of momentum. I got some management out there. Like I was talking to all these networks and things like that. And this was 2019. So going into that, we're like, all right, we'll find my wife a job. We got her a job lined up with it like by like January, February 2020. We're like, all right, next month. You already know where this is going. We're going to go find an apartment, and then we'll just move in right away, and we'll be good. And then they're like, there might be a lockdown, this whole COVID thing. And we're like, it'll pass in a week. We'll wait a week, you know, just like fucking H1N1 and all these other bullshit diseases that came and gone. Zika virus. Yeah.
Ebola.
And I had like a big tour lined up after that, too, like April, May, June, July. I was going to be on the road like every weekend. I was going to be in Canada for like a solid month. Like, finally actually making money doing stand-up, you know what I mean?
Yeah, trust me, we do this shit for free.
Yeah, no, I know. I do most of the shit I do is for free. The show I'm doing after this is for free.
Yeah, we just celebrated 1 year we started making a little bit of bread, but like not enough to like.
Totally.
I still consider it for free.
Sure, yeah, of course. But then slowly those things started falling away. You know what I mean? So I was like, all right, we're not going to move to New York. Then during the pandemic, I was like, man, do I even move to New York after this? You know what I mean? Do I just sit in New Hampshire and do these same shows? And essentially, you can make like a substitute teacher salary doing stand-up comedy around New England for the rest of your life. You can make like 30 to 50 G's just doing stand-up. And I'm like, that's not a bad way to live. And then if you get like cruise ships and stuff, you get a little bit more money. But I'm like, that's like plan B. I was like, I still got time to like go to New York and see.
You plan A type of guy. You plan A.
Yeah, and I know enough people out there just from doing shows and festivals and stuff that I was like, I think I gotta go at least give this a shot. You know, I had it in with a couple of clubs, so I was like, so June came around. I went for a weekend May of 2021. I just went for a week to New York just to do spots and kind of reconnect with people, things like that. And then that's when they announced that they were opening the city like full blown, like July 1st or whatever they were saying. So in June, my wife and I, we just moved there. We got a great deal on an apartment. Like we're saving like $700 a month
COVID
compared
discount.
to like exactly, the COVID discount. So yeah, I've been there since like June, and it's been an adjustment, but I've also been on the road so much that like between September and December, I wasn't in the same place for more than 3 or 4 days in a row. I was just bouncing around between here and New York, and then I was going to like Arizona and Texas and Canada and all this shit.
What do you come back here for?
I come back here for shows. So like whether it's like a fundraiser show or like a club weekend, things like that. So
people in the New England area, like you that guy for comedy.
I mean, I'm one of those guys. Yeah. I mean, I worked really hard when I first started to not be limited to one scene as far as New England, because you got to think you have Boston, then you have like there's even shows out in like Springfield and down in Rhode Island and Connecticut and New Hampshire and Maine and Vermont. Like Vermont has its own comedy club up in Burlington. So like I would go out and do open mics in Rhode Island every Monday or Tuesday. And then I would go to, Connecticut and try and do like the bringer shows at the casinos. And then I would go to Maine just to do some shitty open mic. I didn't know what it was going to be. But then I ended up meeting so many people that when it came to the point where I was getting paid work, I was able to do it pretty quickly. Like I was doing this full time. Like I quit my day job when I was like 3.5 years in to stand up, something like that, maybe 3-4 years in. And I was like breaking even for those first couple years. But that year I quit my job is the year I won BCF, Boston Comedy Festival. And then it just kind of, the momentum just kind of kept going and going. So
that's fucking sick,
damn,
bro.
Damn, definition of grind, bro.
Definition right there,
definition
bro.
of grind, bro.
I love that type of origin story.
Damn. And the big thing too is like he didn't give up. There was a point where like he was just like
breaking even.
This. He was like, nah, fuck this. We gonna give it a shot at least.
Yeah, for sure. And especially with COVID, man. Like COVID, and I think what helped me with that too was every comic was in the same boat. You know what I mean? Every single comic, every fucking music performer for that matter, most people were in the same boat of they weren't where they wanted to be.
Yeah.
Everybody had visions of where they'd be in 2 years, as I'm sure you guys do. And then when something comes in and railroads it like that, it can kind of shake your foundation a little bit.
I mean, Drew, to be really honest with you, I don't know where the fuck I'm going to be tomorrow.
Fair enough.
If we keeping this $1.50, I don't even know where this shit going to be in a week. If we're being really honest. Well, that's good.
But that's why we do this too, right? That's half the reason, like, I'm in comedy or even being a, quote, creator these days. We got to call ourselves because you got to do everything.
Hey, someone's got to put out this motherfucking content.
Yeah, well, it's like I don't like the steadiness. I could go get a 9-to-5 job, take 2 vacations a year, and retire when I'm 65. That's not appealing to me. I want the chance of it going better than that, or the chance of it going way worse. That's the thrill. That's what we live for.
She said, "Take a chance. Take a chance with me."
Yeah,
that's hilarious. That's awesome, dude. Well, I love that. That's why you're here.
Yeah.
Because he has the same mentality as we do. You know what I mean? That's awesome. We're creatives. I want to hear a joke so fucking bad.
A joke?
I want to hear a joke so fucking bad.
Just like a straight up joke?
Because to us, you are now that guy in the Northeast, best comic, period.
Oh, thanks, man.
You Real Relate fam now, like, you're that guy.
Thanks, man.
Like, I'm going to listen to you till the day I die. I will probably hire you for a show at one point.
You want to hear something like...
I want something dark.
Something dark?
No, I want something. No, hold on.
I gave you a dark new one. Yeah,
do I want something dark? Hell yes. But I want something that's like, that's going to make me laugh. You know what I mean?
Word.
And we, like I said, we don't give a fuck. So say whatever you think is one of your best received jokes.
One of my well, this is my newer joke I've been doing about the vaccine mandate that's happened in New York, because I think that's a fun topic. It's divisive. Yeah. It fucks with a lot of people because a lot of people don't like it at all. But the bit is basically like, because I don't know if you know this, but New York has a vaccine mandate. So you have to show your vaccine card everywhere you go. Like the only thing you can do without it right now is like ride the subway, just because they don't have enough people to check it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so with that, that's the premise of the bit, right? It's like you got to show your vaccine card everywhere you go. And I don't think that's going anywhere anytime soon, like the vaccine mandate. Yeah. The newer line I've been doing with is like, I don't think you can call it a mandate, because everybody who checks your vaccine card checks it like a blind guy reading Braille. Just like, I just look up away. It's like, yeah, it's good. You know, because it's true. Dude. Like nobody actually looks at it when you do it. Like, and if any of you don't have an experience to say, just wait, go to New York and you'll see somebody like look at your card and just be like, I don't know what the fuck. Like, yeah, it's good. They don't look at the name. They don't look at, you can have fucking rainbow stickers on there. They'd be like, yeah.
No, it's true.
People are like, I need to get a fake card. It's like, dude, just give them a blank index card. Nobody's actually looking at this shit. One time, on a side note, I was going to Canada, like I said earlier, late last year, and you have to get COVID tests before you go. Like you got to show it on the plane, and before you get back. So, like when you go there, they're like, oh, you need to get a PCR test. It takes anywhere from 3 to 5 days to get the results for those, but you got to get that within 72 hours. I'm like,
bro, the timing.
I'm like, well, what if
they almost cost like that in Puerto Rico too?
Well, but I was like, well, what if it takes 4 days to get it? I just can't get on the plane. So I'm like, but then there's like, oh, you can get rapid PCR tests you can get them in 6 hours, but it's cost you $300. I was like, oh yeah, this isn't a fucking scheme at all. Like you guys, what the fuck are we talking about? So, but either way, so I'm trying to come back from Canada. I was in Edmonton doing the House of Comedy. I'm trying to come back. It's like 4 a.m. in the airport. I'm going for like a 7 a.m. flight or something like that, and I go. You have to like go in. I already have my tickets. We still got to go to the thing to check in with the guy to show him all your paperwork and stuff. Yeah. So I got the COVID test. It was negative. Had it. Gave it to him, and he goes, probably not gonna be able to let you on the flight today. I was like, what are you talking about? I got everything here. I got the app. I got the fucking 9 pieces of paper, my fucking ticket. It's already paid. Like, what do you mean I can't get on the plane?
My fucking nipples are cold. Like, what else?
Yeah, I was like, what do you want from me, dude? I'll suck your dick. I'm an adult. Keep me here in Canada, man.
Yo,
like,
at that moment, he was the gatekeeper. He was like, at that moment, you were like, I will do anything I need to get on this fucking plane.
Exactly, dude. That guy had power over me. You know what I mean? But he was like fucking built guy, shaved head. Like he seemed like a guy who like wanted to be a cop but didn't pass the test. You know what I mean? So then he ended up being
it's like, yo,
working
TSA is important.
Yeah, exactly. Not even TSA, dude. This guy's just working for Air Canada at the front desk. Like he's not even a real guy. So I'm like, he's like, I don't know, man. He goes, so he's looking at the paper. He goes, I see they flipped your first and last name. So it says Dunn Drew instead of Drew Dunn. So I was like, but my passport number is on the piece of paper that the name is clearly a clerical error. Like this isn't. It's me. Like what are you like? Well, you're really not gonna let me on the plane because of that? He goes, dude, I feed my family with this job. I'm not risking my job for you or for anybody. I was like, yeah, fair enough, dude. Like, and first of all, if they fire you for this, fuck this place. Get another job. Everybody's hiring. Like, literally everybody's hiring. He's like, you got to go sit over there and wait for my manager. And I'm like, dude, I got like 45 minutes to get through security or else I'm not going to be able to get on the flight because it's an international flight. So I just go sit over there and I see the guy stand up and leave. And then some fat, dumb looking motherfucker walks up and sits in the same seat he was in. I was like, I'm going to try my luck with this dude. I go walk up, sit, give him my paperwork. Guy goes, stamp of approval. And I'm like, yeah, dude, see you later, man.
Finesse the ball, guy.
Dude, I felt like I was playing a game. I was like, I gotta wait for the switching of the guards to like get into the palace. Like,
Queen Elizabeth, you already know.
Yeah. So to finish the vaccine joke, the premise of the joke is that like I get it, it's crazy, it's new, but it's funny to me when people don't like the mandate because they take it right to the extreme. Like there's no middle ground. They go right to this is just like Nazi Germany. This is just like the Nazis. And I'm like, yeah, just like the Nazis. I can't think of any differences off the top of my head between that and the Nazi regime. Like don't get me wrong though, I can see how you make the connection. Like, show me your papers everywhere you go. Show me your papers. Right. But for me, I'm fully vaccinated. It's like being a German in Nazi Germany. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. Show me your papers. I have them right here. I think you will see that everything is in order. Why don't you show me your papers, actually? I haven't seen you around these spots before. Show me your papers!
This is the type of dude you hear like in a Modern Warfare lobby.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm telling you, bro, that's where I cut my jobs.
That was pretty
He said,
dark.
let me see your papers.
I like that one.
Yeah.
Let me see your papers.
Yeah, I like that, turning it.
Oh my god. No, I love that, man. So basically no joke is off limits for you. Is that right? Like,
yeah, for the most part. I mean, there's some stuff I used to do that I don't really do anymore on stage just because I felt like it wasn't servicing me well, Like, I'm pretty open about, I used to do Asian and Indian accents on stage, but the jokes would kill. The jokes would always kill because I wasn't making fun of the voices. I would use them like I just did with the German guy. It's a character to make fun of me or make fun of a situation. The jokes would always do great. But it was one of those things like, if you saw me do an hour and you saw me do a British accent, a German accent, a Russian accent, and then an Indian, and then something else, and then an Asian, you'd be like, it's just another thing that he does. But if you pull it out and just show those jokes, I was like, there's no context to it. You can make it look however you want. So I was like, I don't think this is going to service me at all. If anything, it's going to make it so I'm untouchable by any of these networks and shit like that. Even talking about it. By the way, I always do this on every podcast. If you're here to cancel me from the future, or any of us for that matter, or even cancel one of us right now, go fuck yourself and get a real job. Just in case, right? Just in case somebody's like, that's directed right at me.
I was gonna say before we started this, I was like, I can like edit out anything that you need to. You know what I mean? So I can edit anything out. But he just spoke to the future.
NBC's not gonna fuck with me anyway, bro. They don't
bro. Honestly, if they don't fuck with you, tell them to suck your dick, bro.
That's what I'm doing right now.
At the end of the day, like, if they don't fuck with you, like, people are gonna hear this mask mandate joke and they're gonna get pissed off. I don't give a fuck, dude. Like, I don't care.
Yeah, but for me, the best part about that joke is I've done it in Brooklyn. I've done it in New Hampshire. I've done it in Texas. I've done it in Arizona. I've done it in Seattle, and it works everywhere. Yeah. So if you don't like it, that's on you because you're living in your own little world. But in the real life situation of doing stand-up comedy, like, we're more similar than we like to think we are. People like to draw lines in the sand, especially online, and say, I'm not like that, or I can't do that. When in real life, in a real situation, you'd probably be a little more understanding of somebody, and realize it's a joke, things like that.
It's comedy.
Yeah,
bro.
so like as far as like topics of things, as if I think there's a joke there, I'll explore it fully. If I can't get it to work for a crowd, then that's when I choose to like ditch it. Or if I don't think it's gonna work for me in the long term, then I'll be like, is it worth doing this? You know what I mean?
And how do you deal with the hecklers, man? Like, you got a lot of them. Like,
Yeah.
I see all your Instagram videos, and you just fucking dishing out on these hecklers, bro. Is that like a common thing? Is it normal? Like, why do you like emphasize it? You know,
I think I get
How do you
heckled.
deal with it?
I think I get heckled a lot because I look like a dude who doesn't know what the fuck he's doing up there. I think a lot of people look at me and they go, "Who the fuck is this young kid headlining?" Like, I'm probably funnier than this motherfucker, and then I got to yell something out about my haircut or my look or whatever, like whatever dumb things on their mind. I think that's part of it, is people think I'm an easy target, especially when I'm the one headlining the show they're seeing. They're like, what the fuck? I paid ticket. And then if they give me 90 seconds, they're in. You know what I mean? The other part of it, too, I think, especially post-pandemic, is there's two factors. One, people were stuck inside. Now they're out. They're fucking partying hard. They're getting super drunk. They're not giving a fuck. They forgot a lot of the social rules of things they used to do, so they're just talking like they're talking in their living room. And I think the other part of it is some people develop some real bad drinking habits during the pandemic. So a lot of people are getting drunk all the time, no matter what, and don't give a fuck anymore. So I think it's all three of those things combined, is people see me as an easy target and they don't give a fuck.
And you just
and they're drunk. And I'm like I said, dude, I learned how to talk shit I'm one of 7 kids in my family. I have 5 brothers. Like, we talked shit a lot. That's our language. You know what I mean? So if I like, we used to do roast battles when I was like 8 years old. Like, we would go down to when we worked in Seattle, we'd go to my dad's office at Microsoft. We would ride scooters around, like all these little jumps and shit. And then there was this little spot where there was like 2 sprinkler heads, and each one of my brothers would stand on one, and we would just sit there roasting each other. And then my dad would determine a winner, and then you'd get on to the next round, kind of thing. Like,
That's
yeah.
funny.
Could you roast him?
No, please. Show me mercy.
I want to get roasted low key, bro. I'm like, yo, that shit's hilarious. I mean, because I feel I have like 10 brothers.
Yeah, okay.
Well, more than 12.
How many dads you got?
Oh.
Want to get roasted? It's coming.
I love it.
Oh, yes.
Open it up.
Open up the pit.
Bro, and it's like with me, it's like with jokes, and I like 12 brothers, no dad, single mom, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's how it is, you know what I mean? But that's the language.
Yeah,
You just,
exactly.
Like, you just shoot. If you're not shooting the shit with your boys and your family, then you're not family.
100%.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
And that's kind of going back to what we talked about, like these different social circles. Like, some people are like that, and I've met people that are not like that. Like, when they're hanging, they like, you'll say something like that, be like, "Why did you say that?" And I'm just like, I don't know. I thought it was a funny thing to say. Like, don't take it serious. Like, nothing I say is serious. I don't take life serious.
bro,
You know what I mean? Like, nothing's serious.
If y'all,
This is a simulation, probably. Like,
if y'all, that's why some people be going up to me and they be like, you know, oh my God, like, well, how could you say that? Or like, why? Like, oh my God, you're like just so crazy. I'm like, if you believe anything that comes out of my fucking mouth, like 99% of it is horseshit, bro.
yeah. But also, and it's like, it's meant for humor. So don't take it for serious. That's your problem, not mine.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, dude. I've come to this whole this mindset when it comes to like people not liking jokes or people getting offended or whatever. Like, I don't give a fuck. There's so many things for you to watch in this world. Why'd you spend your time watching shit that upsets you? Like, just because you don't like something doesn't mean it shouldn't exist, right? That's a fair statement. Talk to Hitler about that, right? Like, that dude didn't understand that mindset. Right?
Oh, boy.
Yo, I'm not gonna.
We
lie.
opened it up already.
I'm just saying.
I ain't gonna lie. I'm still stuck on how many dads you got. Yo, I ain't gonna cap. That got me.
Now.
That got me.
Yeah. When the number is 0 but also 5, like.
Oh, my God.
Hey, listen.
Hey, fair. Fair's fair.
I love it.
But yeah, man, I don't know. So like, I kind of stopped worrying about that stuff when it came, especially when it came to creating content and creating jokes. Like, I want a crowd to like me when I'm doing stand up, but I don't care about backlash. I don't care about I'm worried about making things funny and bringing joy to people. And if it's not bringing joy to you, then change the fucking channel. It's not my problem. I don't sit there and watch fucking car crash compilations and go, "This is terrible." Oh, I hate watching cars crash. Play another one. Like, what the fuck? Like, no, change. Don't watch that. Go watch flowers grow.
Some people be like, they're like, oh my God, how could you say that? And then they're fucking watching like Instagram dead animals and shit like that. Like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, so we all have different things that we like and don't like. But again, just because you don't like it doesn't mean it shouldn't exist.
And then you try to make a joke about something, and they're always like, they go on about politics, religion, and sports and shit like that. And then I come in and say something like, that's inappropriate.
Yeah,
that's very inappropriate.
Right, exactly.
I'm like, that's inappropriate?
Yeah.
But the shit y'all were just talking about for 10, 20, 30 minutes, an hour that I didn't give a fuck about, that's perfectly fine?
Asking somebody who they voted for to their face is not rude, but but a joke is? Like, I don't know. That shit is odd to me.
Oh, you're racist.
Yeah. Well, especially now, you can't people will just attribute 9 facts to you if you tell them one thing. If you're like, oh yeah, I like the UFC, they're like, really? So you think all lives matter? It's like, wait, no, I didn't say that. I said I like watching dudes choke each other out. Like,
hey, whoa, pause on that.
Yeah, what the fuck? Don't assume 9. It's fucked up.
Damn, have you ever has anyone ever asked you to roast somebody else, do a roast?
Yeah, that was actually the first roast I ever did. I was doing a New Year's Eve show. I was probably 2 years into stand-up. I was doing a New Year's Eve show in Nashua, New Hampshire, and this guy Ralphie was the headliner of the show, and he's like, "Dude, you're so funny. Like, we're doing a roast for my birthday. Like, you gotta come and roast me." And I was like, "Dude, I don't know you." Like, so I just I saw him do a set, and then I just would go on his Facebook page and just looked at all these random ass pictures and trying to figure out who this dude was, and I ended up roasting him for 8 straight minutes or something like that. I was supposed to do 2 minutes, and I had pages. I was just flipping through pages, ripping this guy. Man. It's all online. You can see it on my YouTube channel. The roast of Ralphie Joyle.
I gotta see that, and I gotta see other videos. The ones that I fucking Call of Duty and shit like that. That's funny. Oh my God.
You want to know what's the funnest shit for online gaming stuff? Have you guys seen the GTA roleplay stuff?
Yeah, bro. Have we seen? Bro, I'll tell you, we're gamers, bro. We are part of Real Relays. There's a Twitch.
Okay.
And, we live stream on Twitch.
Oh,
too.
word.
Yeah, GTA roleplay. That shit is hilarious, bro.
That shit was so fun, bro. Because I was doing that before. When 5M first came out, but No Pixel was sort of new, but you couldn't really get into it. So I started doing it again. That was my last burst of gaming stuff that I was streaming was all that stuff. And I just pretended to be an Indian guy named Daddy that owned a Prada shop. And I started a fight club, dude. I would just wear a big orange suit and just run around just trying to get people to start a fight club. And it would work so many times. I have a whole series on it. I got it a beef with some rapper named Lil Dope. And he tried to set me up for to get capped, but then I was I saw it coming, so then I set him up on the setup kind of thing. It's fucking crazy, dude. Dude, that shit is next level stuff, and I think that's gonna be the kind of stuff that thrives in the metaverse.
Yeah.
That real life, the role play, fuck around stuff. Imagine a GTA role play, but you're in VR. That's the next world. That's gonna be what our kids are playing.
Even the GTA role play, bro. T-Pain be doing that shit. Soulja Boy be doing that shit.
Everybody, just Soulja Boy, dude. Out of nowhere, Soulja Boy starts streaming. Guy makes 2 good songs, and now he's just a streamer, bro. It's an insane world.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Oh my God! But now they're doing so well on it.
I know, dude.
He made the Rick and Morty freestyle. He made a song out of it. I'm like, bro, did he just freestyle and then make a song out of it? And it got super successful. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
But that's what happens, and that's kind of the mindset I have with content now, because it's so easy as a stand-up to get locked into save it. Don't show anybody your jokes until they're ready to go. Don't show any keep it and then put the hour out, and then they'll watch the album and they'll love it all. It's that's not the way the world works anymore, man. No one's gonna listen to you for an hour if they haven't enjoyed you for 90 seconds, if they haven't enjoyed you for 5 minutes, if they haven't enjoyed you for 10 minutes. No one's gonna give a fuck about you for an hour. That's just not how the world works anymore. Yeah. So that's where it was December last year, I just started posting videos every single day. I mean, and it was every single day for 3-4 months. I was just doing every single, because I had so much old stuff. I'd have these 4-minute videos, and I would just chop them up into multi-parts or pieces of it and stuff. And then now I just post once a week, because I can maintain that, and I can maintain a high quality of stand-up. So I post one stand-up video every week. I post an animation every other week, every 3 weeks, depending on how long it takes me. Because I do all that stuff myself. I do all the drawing, all the voices. So
you must be really talented outside of stand-up too then.
I mean, a little bit. The drawing stuff, I don't consider myself talented. I consider myself I just endure. I
consider myself useful.
Things look like shit until I just make them not look like shit. I don't do things quickly. I don't think I'm good at that stuff, but it's one of those things, like I was trying to do voiceover auditions, especially when I was first starting to get into it. Like the only way to do that is to literally go on websites like voices.com or voices123 and you're just auditioning for like college kids finals and shit like that. Like literally that's what you're doing. I did a few of those and they're fun, but there's no money in that. And then you end up going like, how do you get to that next level? You need to get an agent, you need to do this. But then half the stuff you're reading for these agents is like, the shows are terrible, dude. The jokes are awful. I'm like, I'm just going to make my own fucking shit. Like, fuck this. Like, I can make whatever I want. So that's when I started doing, like, a lot of the voiceover stuff for the gaming stuff. And then when I was doing the streaming stuff, I actually had live characters. So I could be, like, a British guy. And there would be a little British character that would be, like, live streaming. Like, I was doing that stuff, like, before any of the stuff that you see now, like, all those, like, VR people and the these people that, like, play as characters all the time. I don't know if I was the first one, but I was in the first group. I was doing this in, like, 2016. I was just pretending to be, like, fake people with this stuff, and it wasn't working well because the technology was like in beta form and all this stuff. But I just wanted to do characters. I wanted to do shit that was fun, and I knew I could make things fun, and that's what I'm focused on now. Is like building a brand, building up just a book of stuff for people to watch, man. And that's the cool thing now is like if I have a video pop, I'll see people going back and watching everything I've ever made, and that's for me. I'm like, okay, there's value to this, and then every time I go on the road, there's like 1 to 5 people a show maybe that are like, hey, I love your videos, keep doing what you're doing, kind of thing. So slowly getting progress on those things, you know? Yeah, exactly. No, and I appreciate you guys even reaching out to do this, right? Like it's crazy how many opportunities come just from putting stuff out there, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like rather than holding all this stuff in and waiting for like Comedy Central to come and buy it up and then I give it to everybody for 10 grand and then it's over. I'd rather build something that can't be taken away from me by a network.
Yeah. Do you ever, like I was going to say, like, do you ever want to be like on Comedy Central or like a Netflix special or some shit like that?
Yeah, of course. I mean, but that's all just for exposure. That's all just for the cash and to get more people looking at you, man. I mean, at the end of the day, like I said, I'm a comedian first. Everything else is to complement that. So if I'm making an animated show, it's to get more people to watch my stuff so they can come buy tickets to see me do live stand-up. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to do anything that distracts from that. So if I get a Comedy Central spot, if I get a late night spot, if I get a Netflix 15-minute thing, all that is with the goal behind it is so that they will come to my website, buy a ticket in their city, and come and see me live, and then do that for the next 10 years.
Bro, if you're ever in my city, bro, I will for sure come.
Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Appreciate you.
And I love that you're a comedian first, bro. And I love that message because I feel like, I don't know about you, Barbara, but I always feel like I'm the comedian in the group. And it's finally nice to be with another guy who can make people fucking laugh, bro, you know, in these dark times, you know what I mean?
For sure. Well, that's one thing that, like...
And you have a podcast, too.
I have a podcast, yeah, Character Debates. I do it with a couple comics, Michael Harrison, Jake Favera out in New York, and we just bring in other comics. And, like, I don't ever play myself on the podcast. You know what I mean? Like, we'll just come in and debate random-ass shit. Like, the first episode ever we did... Santa Claus versus the Easter Bunny on what holiday is best. And I just played this like shystery little fucking like Bugs Bunny type Easter Bunny. There's no problem. Like shit like that is really fun. I played like a sumo wrestler, but I did it as like a Southern guy that got lost on a field trip in Japan, and then he just was raised into sumo, like shit like that. You know, just fun because in that world you can really say whatever the fuck you want. Like I was debating Donald Trump as the wokest guy ever. You know what I mean? Like that's just you can explore avenues
are all, like,
and ideas.
Characters you like create in like your head.
Yeah, or like Michael's the one that usually comes up with like the topic and then just goes like, oh, who should we do for this? Or do you want to do this? And I'll just show up and just fuck around. Yeah, because like voices and shit is something I've always done my whole life.
So you've kind of like freeball this, like freestyle this.
Sometimes. Yeah, it's all improv. The podcast is all improv. It's all just made up bullshit. He'll give us questions. I usually don't even read them, and I just riff off whatever the fuck is going on.
That's talent, bro.
I would love to see you like at a fucking Seth MacFarlane, like Family Guy type of shit. That would be like
that's what I'm trying to do.
Like
but
a TED movie.
The problem is now to get to that point where a network's going to pick up your show, they got to be sure they're going to make money off you. They used to take chances on people, right? Like you probably heard about people getting like development deals when they'd leave Just for Laugh festivals, things like that. Like Kevin Hart got one. Kevin Hart did JFL, I don't know when, but he walked away with a $6-figure deal, like $500,000 deal from CBS or NBC, one of those guys. And basically what those guys would do is they would basically go, we're going to put $500,000 down on Kevin Hart. Anything he makes, we'll make 20% of it for the rest of his life, if it works out. So they try pilots, nothing really sticks, and then they let go of him after a year. And then Kevin Hart grinded and made his own name for himself touring, and then it's the Kevin Hart we see today. But that happens a lot. But they don't do that anymore because they all have to be measured. So if I want to sell an animated show to Comedy Central or Cartoon Network or anybody, right? Adult Swim. If I want to do any of that, I got to prove it first. I got to go, hey.
The metrics have to be there.
I'm like, hey, here's 50,000 people that like what I'm making. Help me make that 500,000 people. You know what I mean? Rather than like, hey, I have this idea I think is funny. They're like, yeah, that's a cool idea, but we're going to go with this guy who has been in the industry 10 years or has 500,000 followers on TikTok or whatever. So it's like, once I realized that that's what I had to do, and this is just from me having meetings with these people. Like I had meetings with like True TV, for example. They're like, oh yeah, they're like, oh, come to us with a show idea. So I came to them with this idea of like rivals, like two guys like yourselves go through like a gauntlet of things and see who's the winner at the end. You finish your little rivalry together. And like, oh, that's great. They're like, oh, that's great. Go make it. And I was like, no, that's why I'm coming to you, so that you'll make it. Yeah. Like I don't have the funds of I don't believe in it that much. You know what I mean? Like this is like I thought you guys wanted ideas, not finished products. So like once I realized that that's what these guys want, it was the same thing over and over and over again. So I was like, man, I gotta just start making shit and then just be undeniable. And then here's the thing, bro. Once it's big enough that it's point where I'm like, they're like, hey man, we really like that animated show idea, but yeah, well, I don't fucking need you anymore. Like you're self-profiting
you're empowered
on YouTube ads or Patreon or whatever. Yeah, exactly. That's what you got to do now. That's what that's how you gain leverage in the entertainment business, is getting power. You got to get your own power by getting recognition yourself, by doing what you guys are doing right now, which is making shit and putting it out there and making it good.
Damn. Even though you're a comic, I feel like you understand the business side of it.
Oh, I went to school for business, but I feel like a lot of this is just a lot of it's just from talking to other comics and just experience of doing this shit. You know what I mean? Like just trying to figure out, because that's the thing, man. There's no blueprint. I can't follow what Bill Burr did. I can't follow what Burt Kreischer did. I can't follow what Joe Rogan did to become successful. That world doesn't exist anymore. You know what I mean? You got to make your own way, and that's what's fun about it too. Like I said before, it's the unknown. Like, how the fuck am I going to do it? I don't know. Let's find out.
What's your biggest goal right now? What deep down, what's your dream? What do you really want?
I mean, my biggest goal right now is to get just get more people following me. My ultimate goal, I would say, is to be able to tour and do theaters and have people come buy tickets to see me, and as well as have a successful animated show that I produce, voice, help write, things like that.
Oh, so you want an animated show? Is that your dream?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because like live action shows are cool, but I'm not like, I can act, but I'm not going to be like the lead guy. Look at me. You know what I mean? I'm not Chris Pratt.
What do you mean? You mean the haircut's not cute?
Not the haircut, the jawline, the fucking, you know what I mean? I don't want to go on a diet so I can be in Jurassic Park.
That's why people loved you as Xander.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's silly and out of point. But that's what I mean. Like, I wasn't the lead guy. I wasn't the Connor doing fucking
people loved you.
But you were loved, bro.
Yeah, but no, so that's what I'm saying though. Is like, I still want to do those comedic acting things. Like I'll audition for Saturday Night Live, things like that. But I'm not resting my laurels on that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'd rather focus.
You want to be this funny side comic relief. You know?
Like if I'm going to make sketches and characters and stuff, which I've done on my TikTok and Instagram and things, if you scroll down far enough, like I want to do it as these kind of one-off characters, or like a zany person that's a part of a show. More of like picture like a Zach Galifianakis character in the Hangover rather than the Bradley Cooper type. But at the same time, I think animated is better for me just because of all the different voices and characters I can do. Like even for me to play like a British guy on TV, they're not going to let me do that, but they'll let a British guy play an American guy all day long. You know what I mean? So it's like there's so many rules for stuff like that. But in animation, that doesn't exist. You can do pretty much whatever the fuck you want within reason.
What's your favorite voice?
My favorite voice to do right now
is to do a robot voice.
Whoa! What? How the fuck do you do that?
LOL.
Bro, that should just like time skipped.
It's like instant, like not like the same.
I love the voice for that reaction because people don't understand what happened. I do it on stage and people like are looking for fucking like, is he pressing a button? Is that playing it over the intercom?
What other voices you like doing?
Also, I'll tell you how I do that voice. The trick to it is, you know how when you're like talking right now, air's coming out of my mouth, right?
Yeah.
So
now I'm breathing in.
No, I'm breathing in.
Yeah, but like that, but it's down here in the bottom of your throat.
No, I'm breathing.
Now you just sound like a deaf guy trying his best.
You just sound like one of those guys that got the cigarette things right here.
I don't want no smoke.
Yeah, no, that's and then I'm basically doing like a Borat voice first. So it starts off like this, like a Borat,
And then you breathe in, and it sounds like a robot.
and I don't know why, dude, but
Wow.
I was chilling with my buddy Brian Glowacki. Shout out to Brian, and he's another funny Boston comic. And we were in Burbank doing a comedy festival out there, and I just started I was messing around with that voice. I'd done it once for like my dog I was just fucking around with like different sounds and shit, and I did it for my dog, and my dog freaked out and like ran away. So I was at this festival, I started doing it, and he was just dying laughing at it. He couldn't get enough of it, so it just encouraged me to like keep doing it and fucking around. And then eventually, by the end of that weekend, I wrote a bit that kind of worked with it, and now that's like my closing joke is to do basically that voice and with a bit about like. It's like a new Alexa, basically, is the idea of it. Like an Alexa with an attitude, essentially. Like
What?
yeah.
Alexa with an attitude.
Oh my God,
that shit
so
trip me out.
good.
That shit trip me out. Sound like
I love voices.
the old computer.
Yeah, Microsoft Sam. That's what I call it. Yeah.
That shit.
That
freaks
old,
me
that
out.
first
like a Jarvis from Iron Man or something.
Yeah, the first ever like text to speech guy was like you used to be able to just type shit into like Word and have it say it, and it like that'd be like shit I'd do with my boys after like middle school. You go over to their house and we just find words that sound funny in that voice, like
Water.
was like we just kept saying it was just like
Water.
and the more you say it just shit like that
Dude,
was
that's
just fun.
so cool.
Yo, give me, what's your other? Give me another favorite voice. Actually, what's another favorite voice you like?
Well, I think for me, honestly, English is a classic, right? It's a classic voice because now what I've been doing is actually starting my show just pretending to be a British person. So I'll go on stage and say, hello, everyone. Thank you for being here. And then eventually just break it, and it actually blows people's minds, and it's quite fun.
Yeah.
Wow, that's so fucking good.
How do you just like breaks fucking character and you just
Yeah, I don't want to blow the whole show, but yeah.
Blew my fucking mind.
I'm still on the robot.
I'm still.
You're still on the.
I'm still on the how many dads?
Oh my God.
I know a bit I've been doing now is about vaping. I don't know if you guys vape or not, but like
I ripped the pen, bro. You talking about?
yeah, the pen I fuck with, but the bit is about how just everybody vapes now. Like I've been talking about it recently. Is just like I don't mind the cold. Like I don't mind walking around the city in the cold. It's like reduces your chance of getting vaped on by like 80%. You know what I mean? Like what? Everybody vapes now. Everybody. It used to just be like edgy skateboard kids. Now it's everybody's aunt and uncle just blowing strawberry dust in my fucking face. It pisses
Strawberry
me
dust.
off.
Like what flavor you got in there?
Like I'd ask if anybody's in here vaping tonight, but we'll see soon enough. They can't help themselves. They're just everyone's just smoking inside like it's the 80s again. Like no one can tell. It's just water vapor. It smells like peaches in here. Something's going on.
Yeah.
What are you baking something?
Yeah, I used to like rip ass in my apartment. I'd be like, yo, Brian, get the vape over here.
Yeah. Let me get some of that bubble gum to cover up this shit.
Give me some of that rainbow fuzz, bro.
Yeah. But the bit is like, I feel weird complaining about vaping, you know, because it takes me out of my generation. It makes me feel like my Aunt Jackie. Like, I don't get it with you kids. I don't get it.
Sucking on your USB sticks, looking like you're smoking the internet. Go fuck yourself.
Everybody. But that's why it's fun, because the people that vape are the ones that laugh the hardest usually at it, because they're like, they don't give a fuck. They're going to keep smoking inside. And also, I don't actually care. Like, it doesn't actually, but it's a funny angle to take. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's how it is, bro. Like, I mean, everyone in this generation is just ripping that shit, man.
Yeah,
And that,
yeah.
that you're there to be a comic, you know?
Yeah, it's a common thing. There's very few things that we have that are common ground these days. You know, like when you're a comic in the 90s, you used to be able to just talk about the commercials that were on TV. Yeah. You know what I mean? You can't do that anymore. You get different commercials than I get. You know what I mean?
That's fucked.
So there's like one show every 4 years that everybody watches. You know what I mean? Like Game of Thrones is probably the last one that like you could actually. Walking Dead was before that.
One right now was Squid Games.
Squid Games too.
Like everyone.
But that was like a week and a half. You know what I mean? Like nobody gives a fuck. If you do a Squid Games joke now, everyone's like, "What?" Like no, Tiger King too. But the only reason I think Tiger King popped off is because of the pandemic too. I think if everyone wasn't stuck in their home, they wouldn't have been like, "Oh, I'm gonna watch the Crazy Tiger Show." You know?
Have you heard of Euphoria? It's like popping off right now.
No.
Have you heard of Euphoria?
Yeah, that's
Zendaya.
Yellowstone. Was the one I was thinking was popping off right now too. Yeah.
What did you say? What did you say her name was?
Zendaya.
Zendaya. And you seen Spider-Man? God damn.
Relax.
God damn it. She's so bad. How you forget her name?
Is Zendaya or Zendaya?
It's Zendaya. Damn it.
Well, we know who's got a crush, right?
Yeah, I love. You seen the new Spider-Man movie?
No, not yet.
You seen any of the Spider-Man movies?
Yeah, I saw the what was the one before? No Way Home. I saw No Way Home.
Yeah,
I haven't seen. I've heard great things, but I just haven't had time, bro. Yeah.
I mean, you're fucking on the road. Always
yeah, trying to.
Damn, that's crazy, man. I was about to say, that's how. Well, speaking about acting movies, like that's how we met you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were the fucking Xander.
Xander, baby.
And you ask anyone who watched that movie, they tell you their favorite character was Xander.
Yeah. That shit was fun, man.
Now why try?
Like, how did y'all? Like, how's it feeling? Like, how?
Yeah, I mean, so I linked up with Connor. He just came to a show. He was just looking for comics to like have on his podcast, on the Golden Deer podcast. and I think it's Golden Hour is the actual name of it.
Yeah.
I did a set and like on a Monday night at this place called Capo. It's not an open mic, but it's like a showcase show with a lot of like the working Boston comics go and work stuff out. And he just approached me. I did his podcast a couple times, and he always told me he had this dream of doing this movie and stuff. Like, but at the time we were just doing sketches. So he'd hit me up and be like, "Hey, I got these like 2 Instagram influencers. Like, come to this bowling alley, and we're doing a fucking skit about bowling or whatever." And I would just show up, fuck around with him for a little bit. Ended up doing some sketches with some of the other guys. And then he hit me up over the pandemic, was like, "Dude, got the Apple Cinema like place locked down. We're gonna shoot these days. Like, wrote a character for you. Like, would love to have you come and do it," kind of thing. And then once we got there, it was just loose. Like, I was just fucking around riffing. Like, all the lines about like the Swedish fish and shit like that was just like
the Vaseline.
I gotta ask you a question about that.
That was
bro.
actually Connor's idea. Was the Vaseline?
Of course it was. Connor, if
Connor
you
got a lot of
this,
Vaseline, bro. Shout out to Connor.
Connor, if you watching this, bro, you made this man rub Vaseline all up in his hands, bro.
You know what?
You sus for that, bro.
It's fair though, because Connor just ran like a 100-mile race. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah,
This kid's a psychopath in the best way. That dude's rubbing Vaseline all over his feet right now, so I don't feel bad, dude. But that was the worst shoot day, dude. My pocket, everything was just covered in Vaseline the whole day. I kept having to put more on. My hands were moisturized for months.
How many bottles of Vaseline you had?
We had one big ass tub that I just kept scooping out, and especially for those close up shots, I would just really cake it on and get those like extra globs and shit on there, and make it look weird. Yeah.
That's sauce, bro.
My favorite line from the
super weird like thing to write for a character. But I was like, all right, dude, if this is who you want me to be, it's like. But also, I was like, at the same time, I was like, what kind of vibes am I putting off? That you're like, I got the perfect character for you.
Yeah,
This weird
you
dude.
seem like the perfect guy to rub some Vaseline all over them hands.
Yeah, how'd you like to be a secret murderer that fucking rubs Vaseline on his head?
That is fucking suspect.
I was like, yeah, all right, Connor. Yeah, but no, Connor's a good dude, man. Me and him have done a couple other projects together, and I know he's got some other stuff cooking. So
He's always in the studio, man.
Yeah.
Shout out Connor. He's a fucking great guy, man.
Yeah.
Without him, as I'm saying, we would have been linked, and now we're linked. And
Yeah,
you were
man.
one of the favorite characters in the movie, bro.
thanks, bro. Yeah, that was a fun time, man. That was a good time. The premiere was fun too. I almost couldn't make it, but I'm glad I could.
Yeah,
yeah, it was a good time.
We were there. We went to the club after too.
Oh, word. Yeah, this was at the casino, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You remember that?
No, I don't.
That's good though.
Yeah. I was gonna say, kind of one of the last things to wrap up here. You know, coming up on an hour, and what's something that what's something I know you dropped a lot of gems low key throughout this. You know what I mean? And honestly, I'm sitting here like, I feel like the past couple of other people we've had on the podcast is more like, you know, more back and forth, but you're just dropping gems. You're just dropping like business shit, like just straight up fucking giving us the fucking sauce.
Well, I'm trying to, man. Like, I think there's so many people that are like distracted and confused on what to do in this business. And I think when in doubt, you got to bet on yourself these days. You got to just bet on yourself and go for it. So the more message you can get out there that to people, I think is beneficial. Don't wait for fucking anybody to call you. Go fucking make phone calls.
Damn, that's what I'm saying.
Go rip some
That's what I was gonna say.
dials.
Well, that's what go rip some dials.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say, like, what advice would you give to creatives, upcoming creatives, or
Yeah.
all creatives, whatever, you know?
That's it, man. My biggest advice, if you want to be a creator out there, if you're like every little kid in middle school right now going, what do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be a fucking influencer. I want to be a YouTuber, Twitch streamer.
I want to put Vaseline on my hands.
Dude, yeah, I want to be the best. What you can do that professionally. ASMR, baby. Yeah, just fuck. Bet on yourself, man. That's my advice. Bet on yourself. When in doubt, double down on yourself and fucking work hard. Like,
Fuck the haters.
Work like you're working for yourself. Yeah, and no matter what you do, this is something that took me a while. Like, you'll learn it. You can say it all you want, but to actually like put it into motion is different. And again, like, I'm not a fucking expert at this shit. This is all just off of my perception, my experience. Like,
And you're going through the motions too, man.
I'm trying to. Like, I'm trying to follow my own advice best I can. Some days I don't. Some days I do. But like, no matter what you make, there's gonna be a lot of people that don't like it. But we don't make shit for those people. We make shit for the smaller group of people that do like it. Realistically, no matter who you are, dude, you can be the most popular person on the planet. All you could do is fucking donate blood and fucking flowers and jackets to people, and people would be like, "What a pussy," you know what I mean?
Yeah.
No matter who you are, no matter how nice you are, no matter what you make, no matter how cool or funny or whatever it is, half of the people that exist are gonna fucking hate it. Don't make it for those people. Make it for yourself. Make it for the people that enjoy your shit. Don't worry about those fucking naysayers, because they're always gonna be there.
Yeah, they're definitely donating semen on the side or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Selling feet pics.
And to those people, dude, you're allowed to hate things too.
Yeah.
You're allowed to hate things. There's too many people for us to all get along.
Yeah.
Facts. Like we're just not gonna all like we can make a world where we all get along. We can make a
That wouldn't be fun,
We can
though.
make a
That'd be so
utopia
boring.
world where there's no hate, everybody gets along, and it's all prosperous. But we're gonna have to murder a lot of people first. Yeah, we're gonna have to kill almost everybody, right? Like no matter what you do, man. It's so yeah. Bet on yourself and fucking just keep making, man.
love
Don't
that.
stop. Outlast the failure. I don't worry about those people at all. When I'm sitting down writing jokes, I'm not going like, well, what the fuck is Trevor in the second row gonna say? But no, I'm writing for me. I'm writing what I think is funny. You know, yeah, dude. Bet on yourself. Trust yourself. And if it's not working, make a change.
Big facts.
It's never too late to make a change. Same thing like I said with the gaming stuff, dude. I was like, I can't sustain this. This isn't what I want. Change gears and then accelerate another direction. But as long as you never stop working, never start making stuff, then
As long as you're having fun and you're doing this shit for you, bro, like that's what's gonna matter the most.
yeah, don't have success in mind. I think do it for the joy of it. Like if I was doing stand up comedy for the money, dude, I never would have started. There's no money in it until you're fucking 5-10 years in. You know what I mean? So don't do it for the money. Don't do it for the fame. Do it because you fucking love to do it. And if you do it because you love to do it, that comes through and people will love that.
Big facts. And like a lot of people that just hated on us or whatever, like they've switched. And it's because it's like, yo, bro, like I'm not gonna stop. Like I love doing this shit. This is like I would rather do this than fucking keep doing some shit that I don't want to do. And like I fucking hate myself. I'm living in the cold, driving to work every day. Hate myself. No girl getting zero. I mean, I still get zero pussy now, but like, you know what I mean? Like that's what it is. That's what it's about. You know what I mean? Like breaking that cycle. Everyone here in the Boston area, that's how it is. Like everyone works their 9 to 5. They fucking get up early, go to work. They fucking hate themselves. They cry at work, and then they leave, and then they cry again, and then they go home. They smoke. They eat dinner, and then they fucking like.
And then they go skiing on the weekend.
They go. then they fucking like chill with their dog, play Xbox or play video games. You go to bed at like fucking 9, and you fucking hate yourself.
Yeah,
You just rinse and repeat the whole fucking cycle.
That's a lot of people, man. That's not
a
even just
lot of
Boston. That's a lot of
That's
people,
a
man.
lot of
There's a
fucking
lot of people
people.
that like their jobs. There's a lot of people that trick themselves into thinking they like their jobs. But for me personally, I always needed that goal, that bigger than me goal to work towards to like have joy in my life. And and now there's so many avenues to do that. Even if you just like dude, there's people that live stream their job and all they do is work at Burger King and they got fucking 3 million followers. Like whatever brings you joy, whatever adds value to your day, fucking make it happen, dude. There's too many things trying to take joy from you.
There are little kids dead ass playing with fucking baby toys. Making millions of dollars.
Yeah, literally.
I need you to think about that. I just want you to really absorb that. There are little kids playing with toys, making millions of dollars. And you're sitting somewhere not being happy, doing something you don't want to do. Like, bro, if you want to knit and sew for the rest of your life, do it.
Yeah.
Do
show it to the world or don't show it to the world. Do whatever you want to do.
If you want
to
ski on the weekends and be a ski bro, like, do it, bro. You know what I mean?
Totally.
Like, I don't give a fuck what you do. Just do something. In our 20s and shit like that, I'm 25.
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, this is a big era of like finding who you are. Like, it's a big stage in your life to figure out who you are, who you're trying to be, and shit like that. And it's just like, bro, like, yes, you gotta do work, whatever. You know, you gotta do some certain shit. But what makes you tick? You know, whether it's G-Nip making music, whether it's you doing comedy, whether it's us putting on a podcast. I mean, hate on me all you want, or say what you want, or hate on us, whatever. But like, at least we know who we are.
Yeah,
and at least we do what we like to do, and we have fun doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's all that fucking matters. And we just got a priority straight. There's some people that are like, well, I really care about relationships and all this bullshit. I'm like, bro, that shit ain't gonna get you anywhere.
Yeah.
And if you're gonna find something, at least find a hobby that's gonna take you somewhere.
Yeah, well, and
You know,
and now
always do something.
Well, now everything's accessible, man. Like there's information, anything. Like I taught myself how to animate. I taught myself how to edit videos. I taught myself how to fucking do, audio engineering, all this shit.
Yeah.
Like just off watching YouTube videos and because I wanted to do it.
Yeah.
Like you can teach yourself anything these days. So this idea that you like, oh, I gotta go to college. No, you fucking don't. Go learn how to do it and start doing it. Like that's the same thing. Like, people ask me that all the time. Like, oh, how do you get into comedy? It's like, dude, they let you do this shit for free.
Yeah.
Go sign up and start doing it, man. Like, go. You can take a class if you want, but I don't recommend it, to be honest, because it limits your mind of what you think a joke is. You know what I mean? Like, I went up with no rules when I was writing my first jokes. I think that's the way it should be.
Damn.
You should go up there with your thoughts and what you think is funny and not have anybody go, no, I don't know about that. Like, that shouldn't be... That shouldn't be on your mind. And that's for anything you make. Like whether you're making videos or you're fucking gaming or whatever you want, dude. It should be what's in your brain. Don't let other people tell you what you can and can't make. You're the one who's going to be making it the rest of your life. So
That's true.
why let other people fuck with you?
You got the German voice. Let me see your papers.
Let me see the papers. Now that I have you here, gentlemen, maybe we could talk about some bigger plans if you have a moment.
I love that. know what, Drew? I'm excited you came out today.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me.
That was
Appreciate you
thank
guys.
you for coming through. That was like
Hell yeah.
honestly like that was very insightful. like I laughed and also learned a lot.
Hell yeah.
And that's the first time in a while I've laughed and learned at the same time.
What's up?
Laugh and learn, bro. I want to see more content coming out of you. I want to see
man.
some more crazy animations.
Hell yeah.
I want to see you fucking do comedy. I'm definitely gonna go see you for sure. Definitely.
please
I'm
do.
moving to Miami in like a couple of months, but for sure I want to visit. I mean, I want to fucking see you do a show. I'll come out to New York, low key. I have a bunch of buddies out
Yeah,
there.
if you come up to New Hampshire too, I'm doing some shows not next weekend, the weekend after, and then I'll be there. I'll be back in March and shit like that too. So but yeah, if not, I'll come through Miami for sure.
New York, Miami. That's why I'm trying to fucking just go and see you and bring a bunch of fucking heads and be like,
Hell
dude,
yeah.
that guy was on our show. He's mad fucking
yeah.
funny, dude. That's hilarious. Oh man, do you have any last minute questions for Mr. Drew?
Nah, I mean the roast. I'm still on the dad. Like how many dads you got? The robot voice was my favorite part.
Wow, thanks. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Damn, I would fucking. Oh man, I want to fucking
I
roast.
wish
so
I had a
bad.
soundboard of that. Like,
LOL.
Nah,
So
the
good.
German voice got me too, low key. Yeah, dude, the orange prank guy that we were telling you about, he does like all these fucking like he does like a black guy voice, an Asian voice.
Oh, really?
The
Word.
black guy voice kills me, bro. He's like, hey, listen, I appreciate you for coming on the
Yeah,
pod, man.
thanks for having me,
I
man.
could sit here and talk to you for hours, but Austin always told me I gotta always land the fucking plane.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy. Fuck that guy. But Drew, I really appreciate it, my man. You were fucking super dope. Laugh and learn. That was the big thing, man. You gave us some great fucking advice. You killed it. You vibed. Barbara, any last things you want to head us off to the outro? Anything you want to say to the people's last minute? Anything
upcoming
you want to leave them to
Yeah,
laugh,
yeah.
advice?
Sorry, I haven't
anything?
really been looking at the camera the whole time. Hey, how are you? I guess follow me on Instagram. Hit me up on social. I'm on everything at Drew Dunn Comedy.
I'll put it on the description.
Yeah,
All
I'm
your
I'm posting videos every week, animations like twice a week, and then a bunch of other shit coming up. So keep an eye out, keep hanging, and keep watching the show, man. These guys are dope.
Keep watching. He's gonna have his own animated fucking show one day. He's gonna be on Comedy Central with a Netflix special. Keep your eye out for this dude for sure, man. I see like you're a funny dude, but like you said, like you know the business in the back end. Like you want this shit to be generational wealth. You
Trying
definitely you're trying to get after.
Trying to get that oil money.
Yeah, I need like a Saudi voice. I need like, dude, I would love that.
Yeah.
You're good with the things. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead, sign us off.
Drew, thanks for coming on, man. Real Relay family, check Drew out. We'll link the socials. Until next time, peace out.
Deuces, you already know. Boo.